All right, we're live. Now, I think if somebody is going to ask, well, are you going to make a video about this? Well, probably not. When a live stream is a live stream, that is a live stream. So let's do this. So anyway, I need to shut the TV off here so that way it's not pulling all the bandwidth. I see an oof already in the comments section. That is fantastic. You know, we all like our oofs. All right. Well, hopefully this is going to come in all right. I'm going to try and get some light on the situation here. I'm on the iPad Pro once again. As you can see, I'm trying to like one hand this thing, and it's obviously not working out. Yeah, the keyboard is broke. Yes, I can see that the keyboard is broke for sure. But anyway, I hope this is coming in okay. I hope it is. You know, I know the image is probably offset to some direction because on the YouTube app on the iPad, yeah, it's obviously not in 16 by 9. It is in 4 by 3. So that certainly doesn't help. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So as I showed in the teaser, I did get this iPad Mini 2. And this actually works just fine. As you can see, it's running iOS 10. I'm going to pop in my passcode. Yeah, it works. Even though the screen really does not look the part, my god, it's just horrifically smashed, it does still work. And sure, why not? Our internet's not going to be exactly the quickest, and it doesn't help that I'm streaming right now, so whatever. As you can see, yeah, there it is. There's iOS 10 running on the iPad Mini 2. Apparently, My Talking Hank is still on the App Store. That's a great screenshot. Anyway, so it is a little bit on the laggy side, as these things usually were on iOS 10. I don't know if I'm going to go iOS 12 on this thing. I might just so I can see how well it runs. But for the moment, it's on iOS 10, so I'm going to leave it on there. So this should make for a pretty nice little restoration project, if I had to guess. And the sound works. Everything works on it. The buttons are clicky. The switch on the side works. So yeah, it just needs to be cleaned up. And it needs to have a new screen. Well, the LCD fine. I cannot English today, as always. The LCD itself is fine. Like, the LCD is perfect. Absolutely nothing wrong with the LCD. It's just the glass and the digitizer probably could stand to be replaced. But the LCD itself is good, which is a good thing. So I can fix the LCD, or fix the glass and keep the LCD in there. So yeah. Yeah, this thing works just fine. And if I slide over, you can see the camera works. And both cameras work, although the front camera is pretty much gone. The glass is just so cracked you can't even see anything out of the front camera. But the front camera itself does work, so I can salvage that, which is pretty cool. So yeah, there we go. There's an iPad Mini 2. And it works perfectly. Otherwise, you know, the cracked screen's kind of a bit distracting, but hell, you can't beat that. And this was $50, by the way. We kind of looked on eBay as to what we think it should have been worth, because we both didn't know. And so we settled on $50. And I don't think that was too unreasonable for an iPad Mini 2, given that it's got a cracked screen on it. Oh no. Well, that's not good for the iPad. You can't just can't somehow break the screen. But anyway. So the main star of the live stream today, the reason why I'm actually doing this, is because I wanted to test these two laptops live on stream. Now, the Dell that you see here covered with all sorts of guff and stickers and everything, I don't know. I'm going to go and set the iPad down real quick so I can open the lids on both of these, so that way we can take a look at them both. I saw the Dell that I'm about to show you in a bin with a bunch of other miscellaneous crap. Now this and this HP over here were both $10 because they didn't know what the hell they were worth, and I certainly couldn't find the value of them. And since they're parts machines, there's no real value in them, so I just picked them both up for $10 a piece. This one says Intel Centrino 2 inside and Windows 7. It has a Windows 7 Pro license on the bottom underneath the battery. The keyboard is in a sad state of array, if I'm going to be honest. There's a bunch of missing keys. Not the critical ones. The main keyboard typing keys are fine, but the left shift and then F10 and F11 are missing on this one, so that's a bit of a bummer. But as long as the keyboard still works, for the most part, that's fine. Yo, certain stickers are really hard to get off. Yeah, you tell me about that. Yeah, I'm gonna have a fun time with this. And I think that's like nail polish or something, so I might not even be able to completely clean this thing unless I get some friggin' alcohol on this thing and just clean the crap out of it. But it's a Latitude E6500. I believe it's probably going to be a Core 2 Duo of some kind with a Windows 7 Pro license. So we'll see once we get this thing powered on if it even works. The screen itself is the glossy screen. I don't know what size it is. I think it's a 15-inch. It's a glossy panel, 16 by 10 resolution, probably 1440 by 900 if I had to guess. The bezel's broke, which is unfortunate, but the screen itself is not smashed, so hopefully it still works. Same thing with this HP here. This is a Pavilion M6-1035DX entertainment PC, and this one I really got lucky. This is an A10, an AMD A10. So for 10 bucks, this thing is worth it in parts. So that's pretty crazy. And this is also one of those ones that has the Beats audio in them. I don't think the keyboard's backlit, which is fine. This does have a fingerprint reader on it, which is pretty interesting. The screen, I suppose, is a 15-inch. Again, it's not broken. It's just really dirty, but I don't believe it's broken. So, yeah. And also, this one's kind of got a messed up display hinge, so yeah. So it's a bit messed up. The hinge is a bit messed up, but otherwise, it's all here. We're about to find out. So I don't know how much RAM these things have, if they even have anything in them at all. We're about to find out. These were literally just parts machines that I could tell, and I picked them up as such. But yes, absolutely for $10, there's no way I was going to let this one go with the A10, because the A10 automatically just justifies the cost of this. It's just in parts. So I think for kicks and giggles, we're going to test the Dell first, because that's a bit obligatory on my channel, of course. But before I do that, I'm going to go plug the iPad Mini 2 into power. It's at 33%. I want to go charge that iPad Mini. That iPad Mini, though, was quite the score at 50 bucks. And it works perfectly. Like, everything works on it. So, despite the smashed screen, it actually works. I don't know what use I'm going to have for it, but I suppose maybe a spare camera. I mean, it's good for that. I mean, it still works. So, I'm going to go plug this in. I'll be right back. I'll be only a couple seconds. Okay, so the iPad Mini 2 is plugged in to charge. It looks like the battery on the iPad Mini 2 actually holds a decent charge, so far at least. So I'm hoping that it's still good. I have yet to figure that out, though. I bought it today, but even then, it doesn't really matter all too much, I suppose. Anyway, this power brick that goes to my Inspiron Zeno HD 400 should power this Dell just fine. They both use barrel type power connectors, and I just did a dumb thing and did a stupid thing with the charger. So I don't know. I'm gonna use my foot as a prop. Oh, it's already on. Shit. Holy crap. It's alive. RTC mode fixed. Time and date may be wrong. Okay. Well, then must have an unplugged or dead CMOS battery. But it's on. It just turned right on. What the hell? I didn't even touch the power button. This thing's already turned on. It's got BIOS version A18 on it, so... Huh. Well, shit. If this thing works, that's not bad at all. I wonder how much RAM it has. I might have just enough to turn it on, I suppose, but... No way. No way. It's probably doing a memory check right now, hence why the setup's taking a while. Which makes sense, because it just turned on after a while. What CPU is in it? I'm going to take a guess that it's some late model Core 2 Duo. That's my only guess as to what might be in this, because the E6500 was before the Core i series came out in 2011. And that was called the E6510. That was to denote that it was actually a Core i series laptop versus the Core 2 Duos. So that's what I would guess would be in this laptop, is some flavor of a Core 2 Duo. So, but sweet, at least we got one winner that actually boots. It doesn't have a hard drive, so that's the one thing I am going to need to get into this machine, is a hard drive. However, that's pretty easy to do. So anyway, it's a little bit broken. There's a bit of plastic missing here. This speaker girl's loose. This one's fine though. It's missing the trackpad nub right there. And again, this display bezel's cracked. And it's missing the... oh, excuse me. It's missing the... fuck. I can even learn how to clear my throat properly. And it's also missing the battery. So, nothing that won't stop the show. Well, sheesh, how long are you going to take to test the RAM? Good God. It's taking forever to test the RAM, I guess. I don't know what it's doing. It's not frozen. It keeps moving the progress bar. I don't know what it's doing. I guess I'll let it sit for a moment and let it kind of recoup itself. Yeah, it's missing the... I know. I'm sorry. I do wonder why you would want to get a beat-up laptop. Well, it's a fun project, because you never know with these mystery systems. Anything can go. And even at the very least, they're good for parts. I mean, this will have some good DDR3 RAM in it. This will have some good DDR3 RAM in it, if it even has any in it at all. Good screen. Probably a good motherboard. Good CPU. Parts. So, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense because it's missing the battery, so it's getting a little confused. Okay, so that makes sense then. Okay, yeah. I don't know if this actually has a CMOS battery in it. I hope it does, but that does explain why it's taken a while. These Dells just like to do that. Might have 16 gigs of RAM. Yeah, it could be a complete mystery. This could have 16 gigs of RAM in it, and I wouldn't know. That would be really awesome if that was the case, but I doubt it. I think this only would have like 8 gigs of RAM in it at most. If I had to take a guess, it's probably maxed out, because why not? I might actually have a battery for this laptop. Let me go look in my junk drawer. I think I might actually have a battery for it, and then we'll come back and look at the Dell. But let me set you guys down. I'm gonna go find the my HP batteries, and I'll come back. I might have one that fits. Find it, but I did find it. The Dell is not happy at all, but I figured as such. So yeah, I found a battery. I'm gonna see if it'll fit this HP. I don't think so, because it's not gonna work because the connector's on the wrong side. Okay, it was worth a try though. I was trying to see if it would work, but the connector's on the completely opposite side of the battery, so that makes sense. But yeah, it's not happy. We'll put it that way. It's complaining about the power adapter not being a genuine Dell, which makes sense because I'm just using the one from my Inspiron Zeno, which is also 65 watt, but it's not a Dell adapter, so it's bitching about it. And then there's no battery, so it can't even charge, so it's going to reduce the system performance, which, that's okay. I would figure that as such, so run the setup. Oh, and it's got a lock. Oof, well that's not fun. I guess I'll have to figure out how you unlock one of these, because it's probably going to have a password on it. Administrator password is set on this computer. Setup cannot be accessed until the correct password is entered. Can I at least view the settings, maybe? Oh, good. I can at least view the settings. Okay, cool. We have a Core 2 Duo P8700 at 2.53 gigahertz. We also have a healthy 4 gigs of RAM for one of these things. And it's also a DDR2. Huh. I would have figured that a machine this new would have had DDR3, but I guess not. Huh. That's really interesting. I don't know what you're saying, Victor Kyle, because that's kind of cryptic, and I don't understand what you're talking about. It has a DVD RW drive in it. It's currently running apparently at 1.2 gigahertz, even though the minimum clock speed is 1.6 gigahertz, probably because of that power adapter situation. And this only has the Intel graphics in it. Well, that sucks. And it's only a 1280 by 800 screen. But anyway, I mean, it works. I don't know what the purpose is of the Discord. Oh, BIOS password. Okay. Okay, that makes sense then. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to boot this because there's no hard drive in it. I don't have anything Linux related that's on USB that I could boot right off the bat, but this thing would make a fantastic Linux laptop, being that it's got that Core 2 Duo and 4 gigs of RAM and the Intel video. It's going to make a solid little Linux laptop, I think. It does have a Windows 7 Pro license, so maybe I'll do a dual boot. I don't know. It's certainly possible with a machine like this. Could dual boot Windows 7 and Linux Lite 4.0. What do you guys think about that? Let me know that. I think that might be a really nice video idea to put this E6500 to use. So yeah, solid specs for one of these things. I'm pretty happy. That was $10 well spent. So yeah, I'll take that. That's a win right there. Just needs to have all these stickers removed and cleaned up, and there you go. Not bad. So it might actually be worth fixing that one, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's go ahead and plug in that HP and let's see what's going on with the HP here. So I'm gonna have to plug this in real quick. So don't mind me. I gotta do stuff off camera so I can get this plugged in here. And then we'll go ahead and we'll plug in this HP, whatever the hell this was, Pavilion M6-1035DX. You could have used the same charger. No, I'm not going to risk it because I already have a genuine HP adapter out, so there's no point in reusing a Dell adapter on an HP system. That's only going to make things worse, so I just will plug in the HP adapter and call it a day. I'll just do that because I already have it out here. I mean, I went through the trouble of finding the damn thing, so might as well use it. Okay. So I think the power plug is on the right side on this one. I think, yes. Okay. Once again, I played dumb and did not wrap the cord underneath the iPad charger. So don't mind the crappy camera work. I'm trying to fix this real quick. Okay. Well, hopefully this thing works. I'm more concerned about this HP not working than that Dell. Anyway, do we got a light on the... I don't know. It could just well be burnt out. I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing there. So I wonder if that cord even works. I don't know. It could be a bad power jack too. Let me try rotating it around a little bit. Oh, I just now noticed there's a little bit of LCD leaking right there from that drop. Okay, so that makes sense. But I don't know. It could very well just be that the power jack inside got unplugged. Maybe we'll do a live troubleshooting of the HP. Why not, I guess. I don't know. Let me see if I can plug in that Dell adapter, and I'll try it. Because they pretty much have the same voltages, and they're going to have the same current, the same 65 watts. And besides, I'm just using it to test, so it's not going to hurt it too much if I use it. Sure, it's going to complain about it, but so would the Dell, so whatever. Yeah, it should have an orange light or a white light on, and it doesn't have on either of them, so it doesn't have any of those. So my guess is, yeah, still nothing coming out of it. There's no power status on the right side. It should be lit up, and it's not. So we might just do a disassembly here. I think we're gonna do that. I need to go grab some screwdrivers then. So I guess well, the iPad should have a charge. I think I can unplug it now. And with that, I'm gonna plug in my iPhone because it was like dead. Yeah, 42. Okay, so let's go grab my tools. So how charges the iPad mini? Huh, it's charging up. Cool. We'll let that charge then. And we'll go grab our screwdrivers. I don't know which size I'm going to need, but I'm going to assume that my good ones are not going to be where I expect them to be because they never are. Let's see. I also need my OtterBox stand for my iPad Pro. So, nope, those are too large. Oh, all right. Well, let's try this screwdriver I found here, and then we'll move on. If it doesn't fit, I'll find another one. So, let's go see if we can revive the old HP here. It sucks I don't have a battery to put into it. I don't need help. I appreciate the generosity, but I don't need help. And besides, there's not really much you can do when I'm trying to stream anyway, and I don't have an extra computer out here to read links at the second, so it is what it is. Actually, let's see. Can I do it like this? I set the iPad right there, not steadily. Alright, can I just scooch you back? Alright, well, good enough. We're not going to look for perfection when doing this. That noise when it closes, that's just, ugh. Okay, so first things first, we're going to need to take off this cover here. I can tell that already, and cat hair is just getting over everything, because of course it does. And I can make the screwdriver work, just barely though. Okay, so how the hell do we get this cover off? I'm guessing you slide this cover back? Because it looks like that's how it's supposed to come off. Of course, I ain't got no fingernails, so that's gonna be fun. And this is a captive screw, so it's already out. I'm guessing. Yeah, it wants to slide off. That's what I guess this thing has in it. One of those sliding covers. But I ain't got no friggin' fingernails to get it off here, and that's gonna be fun. Oh, there we go. Got it. Just had to pry my fingernails of what I do have in there. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, so at first glance, there's no hard drive, which I figured as such. They probably pulled that. We do have some RAM. How much RAM, though? I don't know. It looks like it's a 2 gig stick, according to the label. So they probably salvaged the RAM out of this. Again, that makes sense, because, of course... Yeah, it's just got a 2 gig stick in there, unfortunately. But that's enough to test this machine and get an operating system running to make sure that it actually, like, boots and runs. And I did not put that in there correctly, of course. So, that's okay. So, let's see. What do we need to disconnect? I know we got to take out this little adapter for the hard drive and put that to the side. Let's see here. To take the keyboard off, we got a keyboard screw here. And there's one right here. And I imagine there's probably going to be one more underneath the wireless card door. So let's get the wireless card door off here. Let me see if I can even get in there and get it out. There we go. Sorry if the camera work is very amateurish, because I don't know what's being picked up by the iPad. And I can't see the chat either to see what's going on. Okay. I believe you should just be able to pop this door off after you get the screw off. Which the screwdriver is absolutely terrible. I feel like it's going to strip all these screws if I'm not careful. I swear this has one of those like sliding door things on them. It has to be what this has in it. Come on. Alright, well, I guess that means we go and get a, I need to grab a flathead screwdriver so that way I can actually get that cover off. I got one. Yes, I do, right there. Perfect. That'll work. I'm going to catch back up on the chat here. If there's no RAM, the caps and numlock and wireless lights are flashy. Yes, that is true, but it does have RAM in it already. We figured that out. It has 2 gigs. So, troubleshooting stuff. When you're in the laptop, unplug the CMOS. Well, the CMOS is actually like right there. So, we can actually do that right now. I'll put you guys back over here on the OtterBox stand. I'm gonna see if I can read some more of the chat here. Do you watch Linus Tech Tips? Not on a regular basis. I might watch one video every once in a while and every once in a blue moon, but I do not watch Linus Tech Tips because I just don't care for his video style. And plus, I just don't simply have the time or interest to really watch his videos to begin with, so. Okay, CMOS battery's taken out. Now I'm curious, actually. Let's see, where's that HP adapter? Let's see. So let's bring this HP AC adapter over here. Has anything changed? I'm actually half tempted to try and like wiggle the jack and like kind of force it around. But I think this is one of those laptops where the AC adapter jack is actually on a separate board and it's somehow became disconnected. I think that's what's happened to this. I was gonna pry the wireless door off so I can see if there's any other screws I gotta take out here. I actually don't need to take out any other screws. Well, that's interesting. All right, well, back on you go. Actually, no, you got to come off, so that way I can actually take off the motherboard. Well, I'm not sure about that, but whatever. Okay, so wrong screwdriver. Let's get the optical drive out, which is just one screw. No idea what optical drive this thing has in it. We're about to find out, though. Probably just a DVD burner, if I had to guess. Yep, just a DVD-RW drive. Manufactured May 2012. So this is a very late Windows 7 laptop. Not that I'm complaining, though. It's a very solid laptop, for sure. It has a Windows 7 Home Premium license on it, too. Okay, so let's see here. I started loosening the two screws on the keyboard, so I don't know if... I need to check something real quick. I don't know if that's going to let me take off the keyboard right away. I'm gonna try loosening those screws a little more. I'm careful with this. I'm guessing that the hinge on the right-hand side is over-tightened. That's my only guess as to why that cover's coming off like it is. I don't know. Let's see, are these screws also captive? I don't think they should be, because you got to be able to take the keyboard off. I guess they're loosened. All right. Let's see here. If I get this out, that would be good. Let's see. This thing is already getting covered in all this cat hair, which is annoying. This cat sheds like a motherfucker. But nothing I can really do about it. It's the way that she is. Alright. Time for Cringe with Jordan. As we're about to try to get this keyboard up here. If I can. I'm trying not to bust this escape key. While I try to get enough leverage in there so I can get the screwdriver in there. And actually get the keyboard off. Nope. I don't feel like busting the escape key, which seems to work. I'm not going to try that today, so. Yeah. While I'm in here, I want to see why the hinge is all fucked up, too, because that would be nice to fix. Oh, wow, that screw's tight. That screw is very, very tight. So someone has probably been in here before, because they should not be that tight. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. They might have been this way from HP before, but usually when they're this tight, yeah, somebody's probably been in here before. So they're usually not supposed to be that over-tightened. And it also doesn't help I'm using the wrong screwdriver. I should have a slightly different sized screwdriver, and I don't. So that's just my luck. So, anyway. I suppose in the meantime, if I wasn't so lazy, I'd plug back in the Dell and I'd actually start installing Windows 7. But, we're already working on this one and there's no point in going to fix the Dell at the moment because I don't have a caddy to put the hard drive into. I have a hard drive I could put into it, but I just don't have a caddy, so... And a cover, for that matter, so I'll have to wait on that. Okay, I think that's all the screws that I need to take out. And then, and I should be able to just take these out all the way. Yeah. Okay. We're just going to put all these on the Latitude for now. All right. Pretty long screws, I have to admit. But this ain't no thin laptop, so kind of makes sense. Make sure they all stay together. Come on. Get your hole. There we go. The nice thing is, on this laptop, all the screws are the same size. My magnetized screwdriver is not really wanting to pull these screws out, is it? But yeah, all these screws are the same size, the same thread, so I don't have to worry about which screw goes where because they're all the exact same, which is nice. The keyboard screws are not going to come out. They're pretty well captive screws, which that makes sense. So, okay. So let's see what we can do here. Can I potentially now get the keyboard, or at least some piece of trim off that I can actually start getting into this machine? I should be able to separate the two halves, or some kind of two halves, with a screwdriver. I'm going to have to do this slightly off camera so I can see what I'm doing. I don't know if they separate around where the silver part... Yep, I think that's what it is. Okay. So it looks like it separates between this black plastic bottom bit and the silver plastic middle bit that makes the machine look flashy. So it separates between these two. So let me see if I can start cracking this thing open. Gently, of course, because I don't know if this thing actually still works or what. But the cool thing is, because I bought it for so cheap, it's actually kind of worth fixing because I have a lot of budget room to actually start fixing this. And from the one machine I happened to see on eBay, they wanted $250 for it. So assuming that's what these things are still going for, which I don't believe that that's true, but it certainly is possible, then these things are still worth at least something, and it might actually be worth fixing it. Because I'd have an A10 quad-core based laptop with a Radeon graphics chip in it that I could use. I don't know what for, and please don't say video editing because it's not going to be what it's used for. It's just not really that well suited to it. Neither is the MacBook, but I have to use it anyway because that's my only Mac laptop. But I digress. Probably gonna get some flack for that in the YouTube chat now that I say that, but whatever. But I don't know. Maybe I use this as my little Windows 7 test jig or something. I don't know. This thing's really well held together, and I didn't exactly grab a big screwdriver either, so that doesn't help. It's very dirty, too. Oh, my goodness. There's a little dirt coming. You can't see it, of course, because it's off the camera, but there's a load of dust and crap coming out of this thing the more I try to get the bottom pan off. It's just dirt city. Just, ugh, disgusting. It's probably why this thing stopped working, if I had to guess. It's probably because they never cleaned their computers. That's probably how the iPad got broken too, is because they never taken care of their crap. I wouldn't doubt that that's probably how the iPad got broke, is because nobody takes care of their stuff around here. Alright, let's try the, let's try the keyboard one more time. I'm probably not going to get too far with trying to get it open that way, if I'm honest. Let's see if we can get this keyboard out of here. Aha! I got a screwdriver in there. Okay. So carefully Now that I got the right layer, we're just going to come in here and pop this off carefully. Can this screen go back any farther? Oh, yeah, a little bit. And just carefully pry this open. Come on. Come on, Snaps, work with me. There we go. And then underneath here should be some more screws that I need to take out in order to get the palm rest off. There should be some more screws underneath here. Okay, come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, there should be 2 more. There's 1 more. And yay! Alright, so now I gotta get this one on the side. Surprisingly, this little glossy thing that covers the keyboard is actually not all that scratched. I'm really surprised. Right, come on. It's adhered into the machine. That's really annoying. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to adhere this, but they did. Friggin' HP. Never understand why they decided to adhere their keyboard to their laptop, but whatever. Maybe it was a dust seal or something. I don't know. Anyways, get the keyboard out, get the fingerprint reader disconnected too. Alright, this would probably be the connector for the fingerprint reader, or maybe that's the wireless button, I don't know. My flathead, there it is. Okay, there we go. Alright, keyboard's off. Okay, that is one flimsy as fuck keyboard. I wouldn't be surprised if that breaks when I try to put this thing back together. I hope it doesn't. I don't want to jinx myself. Okay, so we got to disconnect the power button on the top. I think that's a flip up connector. Correct. And we need to... what else do we disconnect? We need to disconnect whatever this is. I think this might actually be the fingerprint reader right here, now that I think about it. And then we got to disconnect the touchpad. And I suppose there's something else in there that needs to be disconnected. And after that, this is the touchpad. So that's now disconnected. Alright, now we go ahead and take off the 1, 2, 3 screws that hold the top case on, and these are actually surprisingly loose. Interesting. Okay. And after this, we should be able to look at the motherboard. I hope. Come on, let me take the screw out, damn it. Freaking screw. Alright, I think that was all the screws, so now we should be able to separate the palm rest, hopefully. Let's see here. What's going on here? That hinge, that right hinge is probably way too tight. That is probably why. That's probably because of the drop that this thing probably took in its lifetime, if I had to guess. So now it's probably back to separating the 2 halves of the machine. Maybe. I hope. Alright, where's the next plastic snap on this thing? I want to open it. Alright. Give me just a moment. I gotta do this off camera once again. Let's see. Oh, I'm a smart person. I believe I gotta take the wireless card out too. Whoops. Good thing I didn't go too far into this without realizing that. Whoops. Should probably take the Wi-Fi card out. Let me take the fucking screws out. Those card. Okay. Kids, this is why you use proper screwdrivers when you're taking apart computers you care about. Make myself go through this. Okay. Well, I'm just not going to piss around with trying to find the screwdriver. I'm just going to use the battery-powered drill, because it'll work well enough. All right. I hope. I got a bit that's small enough. This should work. All right. Oh, yeah. I should probably pop off these antennas first before I go any further. Okay. The antennas are now out. And in there with the other screw. Okay. Get both of these screws out. Come on. And then I should be able to pull this out of its slot. If I can get the screw out. There we go. Okay. This should just, there we go, yeah, pop up, yeah. Okay. Now underneath here, this is where I start to get a little interested in what's going on. So here's a connector in there. Let's see here. There's a connector there, right next to the card. What's that actually for, I wonder? I can't really read the motherboard all that well. So my guess is that's for something. Well, I'm gonna take this moment. We're gonna take a quick break, as I wanna read the chat and see what's going on here. See what I missed out on. Let's see. Check out new scrapyard drawers with lit. No inner challenge, no crazy, see nothing, just stores. Oops, on chain. Should have sent HP have a service, at least it would have worked. Posted a video of my yard sale find. Say 3 laptops and an IBM keyboard. Hey, that's pretty cool. Not bad. At HP, if it works, put 8 gigs of RAM in it, and boom, you have a pretty nice budget gaming rig. I have the same system, but it's an MV15 from a few years back. It runs any game. Maybe. Let's see. And, alright, that's enough for the chat. Okay. So, alright. Back to this HP here. Let's see if we can, I hope this is all coming out. I know that this is just a real off-the-cuff stream, but I hope that it's all coming out. Okay. So, can we get the bottom separated now? I wonder. Alright, I need to look at this once again up close so I can see what I'm doing. So my apologies. I need to do this real quick. Actually, let me see if there's another way I can get into this from the inside. If I can just find a way that I can potentially... Oh, there's a screw right there. I didn't even see it. Did not see that one. Pesky HP, they're hiding all their screws. So that way people can get into their machine and take a look at it, I guess. I don't know. I suppose I could probably move that ribbon cable, but I'm going to wait on that. the moment. Yeah, doesn't look like... Oh, okay, here we go. Maybe if I'm careful enough, I might just be able to get this part off. The screen bezel's a little loose too. That's interesting. I saw this little bit, the speaker grill popping out here, so maybe... Can the speaker grill be popped out in this? Once you get all the screws out? I think that's possible, if you're careful. Because then that might reveal some extra screws. Alright, let's see. Gotta like pry it up a little bit. And you gotta get your screwdriver in there and then kind of work it up. No, that's basically adhered on there. Okay, so never mind then. But you never know when it comes to those. You can't never be too sure. Does this palm rest bit just separate from the silver? That'd be kind of nice if it did. But I don't want to scratch up this metal because this aluminum palm rest is actually in good shape. So I really don't want to have to scratch it. Yeah, this screen bit just keeps getting really worse. Let's see here. Let's see, can I come around this from the back side and maybe get this? But I can say for sure, because of that right screen hinge, this thing has definitely seen a drop. No doubt about it. It's definitely been dropped before. Alright, let's start on these right USB ports here. Let's start popping off the plastic snaps that hold this in place. I might need a bigger screwdriver now that I think about it. A bigger flathead so I can get in here and I can pop all these snaps and get into this machine a little bit easier. That might be what I'm going to have to do. Plus this silver plastic, this painted plastic is just, ugh, it's just the worst thing ever. Alright, come on. I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to get a bigger screwdriver to get in there and pop off those plastic snaps. I'm thinking that's what's going to end up having to happen. I don't think a credit card is going to work. Yeah, meanwhile, computer surgery. But let me grab a bigger screwdriver here. I think Mr. Stubby right there might be able to work. If I can get it out. Come on, get out. Come on. There we go. Oh. Well, with that. Okay. So I got a bigger flathead, or at least one with a bigger tip on it, so let's go see if we can get this thing open now. I almost thought about just bringing out the iPad Mini 2 and just using it for music. I don't know. Wait, stop the press, hang on. Screw. Fuck. Why did I not see that? I don't think that's going to change everything, though. I just happened to see that missing in the list there, but I don't think that's going to make a big difference. I hope I don't have to unroute those Wi-Fi antennas, because those are the worst things to reroute. They are the biggest pain in your ass that you ever have to do if you're ever working on a laptop. Okay. So, let's see here. Let's get back at it. See if maybe I can get in there and pop it open. So, I need my little screwdriver so I can get started. Again, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait so I can actually do this with precision. So, my apologies. Alright. Work with me, computer. Come apart. Come on, back panel. Come on. Oh, we're making progress. There we go. All right. Maybe those speaker grills do come off. I don't know. You know, I honestly should look up a disassembly guide for this machine, but oh well. I'm too cheap to look on YouTube, and the iPad Pro is streaming, and I don't feel like grabbing the iPad Mini 2 at this moment to go and do that, so. Alright, I popped off another snap there. I pop up another one here on the corner. There we go. And I know there's another one right there. Come on. And come on. There we go. And then yeah, it's coming off. Then I got a bigger screwdriver it's wanting to give. So that's a good thing. Alright. Next screw. Come on. There we go. Or snap, sorry, not screw. Of course, we all know Jordan can't English. Okay. Come on. There we go. One more. Where the SD card slot is. Come on. There we go. It looks like, from what I've been seeing too, it looks like this palm rest just delaminates, which really sucks. But I think that might just be how this comes apart. Is this whole area just delaminates. And it's all held on with adhesive, I guess. Ah. I don't know. Seems proven to be more difficult to disassemble than I thought. Oh, there we go. It's not actually adhered in, thank God, because just imagine if I had to, like, find all the adhesive to put this thing back together properly. Bitch, that would be fun. But thank God it's not. This is why I wish that these laptops, these newer ones, they don't pull an Apple. But unfortunately, it looks like a lot of them are. So can I get it from the inside? No, I can't really get into it from the inside because that's where all the keyboard clips are located. So that's a minor annoyance, but as long as I get in here and pop all these snaps off carefully away from the palm rest, I should just be able to... Yeah, this all comes off as one assembly. Okay. So that's why I saw the speaker grills coming off. Okay, that answers that question then. Okay. So we are making progress. All those snaps are off. Now I just got to work my way across. So found the trick. Just a bunch of hidden little snaps underneath the aluminum palm rest. So and that one screw that was underneath fell out, so good thing I spot that. Okay. So now, I gotta get back in there with the little screwdriver. Okay. Do. Okay, mini screwdriver, get in there. Hold this thing together. Okay. Does not budge. Come on. Come on. Work with me. God damn it. I hope those two screws where the optical drive are don't also have to come out. But those might. Yeah. That might be why this wasn't coming apart then. And of course those screws fall. Oh, I'll get them later if I happen to drop one of them. Okay. Alright, that was the trick. Oh, found it. Okay. So now I gotta be extra careful around where the optical drive goes because this is a hell of a lot thinner. But that means it should, in theory, give a little more. Okay. Should be one more right there. Maybe. Come on. There we go. All right. Now, can we get this off? Please give me a sign. I want to see this palm rest come up. Come on. Come on. I think I got a couple more plastic snaps somewhere. Probably on the back side. There. HP. Oh yeah, and my suspicions were confirmed. At least from this view. The power socket is separate from the motherboard. Woohoo! So that's nice to hear, or nice to see. Thank goodness. I was worried about that, because some of these, they solder that to the motherboard. In some cases, like HP, they are actually separated from the motherboard. Alright. I gotta get the back side, and then we can get into this machine, finally. Definitely not for the faint of heart. By no means is this for the faint of heart. I will beef it first. Get this thing off. Come on, snap. Ah, that one broke. Really cheap plastic. There's another one that just broke. Because, of course, HP uses that really stupidly cheap plastic. It likes to snap every time you want to take one of these things apart. So, thanks. Now, come on. You can come off. Come on. What's holding you up in the corner? Come on. There we go. And making sure there's no extra cables, we have a palm rest off. Woohoo! Okay. So, what's going on with the screen here? What's also going on with the power jack? So let's take the power jack off. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Come on. Well, let's see. Oh, you're held in by one more screw on this side. Okay. I got to do a little bit of cover work on the right-hand side. Looks like that one's kind of iffy. Okay. Off is the cover protecting the power jack, which also has the light built into it. And it is also on this little daughter board, which has the USB ports on it, which is also seems to be mounted from the reverse side of the motherboard for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. But, let's see here. I think I got to take off a couple of extra screws for the motherboard, but I'm not going to focus on that right at this moment. Okay, where is this power plug connect to? Does it connect to that board, I'm guessing? Okay. Well, then I guess we do need to take this off. So, let's see here. Carefully. There we go. And also, we need to carefully disconnect, presumably this webcam connector or speaker connector or some kind of connector. We also need to disconnect the optical drive ribbon cable, which is what this was for. And also, this one says TP, so that must be for Trusted Platform Module or something. The mouse buttons are down here, interestingly enough. Didn't expect them to be down there. And then we also need to disconnect this speaker. Carefully. Okay. So now, let's see. The motherboard has 1, 2 screws holding it down into the case. Oh, no, 3 because of the fan. Okay. That's a long screw. I better put that separate. And I'm guessing that the LVDS is right here, which it is. So let's get that off carefully, of course. I'm not sure. Is that a pull tab? Well, it was a pull tab. It's gone now. Let's see. How does this LVDS connector come off here? Does it come off if we pull it off? Or does it need to be pulled out? We don't know how you're supposed to take off this. Let me look at this before I damage the LCD connector. Yeah, it looks like it just is pressed on, so, okay. Alright. Maybe it doesn't. Alright, well, there's all the other screws that are coming out of this laptop. And those must be the keyboard screws, so those need to go with the keyboard over here. Alright. And I think we'll actually just go ahead and take the screen out entirely from the laptop. It's a matter of at least 4 screws that hold this to give that holds the screen onto the laptop. Okay, no screws. Those can go inside of the OtterBox. And I do have to deroute the Wi-Fi cables. Damn it. Arrgh. Okay. Now those can come out with the laptop. Correct. Now I just gotta get the LVDS connector off here. And carefully, of course. Oh, it does pull off. Nice. All right, screen's off. So now let's go ahead and get the motherboard out here. Nope, the fan's got to come out first. All right, so now if I can get this past there, there we go. Now we should be able to get the motherboard out of this. Oh yeah, there's a nice little chunk of dust there, but that's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. Okay, carefully. What's this thing hung up on? I don't know what it's hung up on, but I'm guessing this connector's got to come off. I guess this goes to the subwoofer. Okay, and come on, there we go. Gently, let's see, what connector is this? This must go to something. Oh, DC in. I found the connector for it. I found the connector to the power jack. That's what that was for. Okay. So now we got the motherboard out of this computer. So now let's go ahead and see what's going on with the power jack. Oh, I gotta get up. Oh, I've been sitting too long and my legs are all stiff. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, lately, I gotta stand up for a second. Oh, wow. Oh, man, that does not feel good. Okay. I'm gonna come check the chat here. Let me see what I missed. Oh man, my legs are just, oh God. I gotta walk around a little bit here. Oh man, my legs. Okay, nice job working on carpet and using a drill. Hey, we're not professionals. We're professional amateurs. That's what we're called. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab something to drink here real quick from the fridge. Not a Mountain Dew. We're gonna get some Dr. Pepper in here. Got some Dr. Pepper. And then we're gonna go see what's going on with the DC jack on this thing. But I gotta stand up a bit because my legs are like numb, and that's not good for my legs. So I'm gonna circulate a little bit of walking. In the meantime, I was gonna show. There we go. I got Kid Picks Deluxe today, for 50 cents. This is both the Windows and the Macintosh version, copyright 1998. And I also got this, which is an older piece of software, which also works on Macintosh. So we can probably give that a look and see from the Learning Company. And I also picked up a few other Xbox games today while I was at the thrift store. I picked up a sealed copy of Splinter Cell, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Platinum Hits, that was sealed. I got Monster Garage. I got Full Spectrum Warrior. I got Second Sight, which I don't know how good this game is, but it's from the creators of Time Splitters, so it probably would be a pretty good game, I would assume. And then also Brute Force from Microsoft Game Studios. So I picked up a few games that we can potentially try on the Xbox, both Xboxes actually. So that way we can see if both Xboxes actually work. I mean, I know for a fact that I know this one works. This one works great. But I have not tested this other one yet. But I'm going to wait on that until I get this HP potentially working. I don't know. But let's see, where is the... Oh goodness, let's see, I'm going to put the DC jack out there. So I'm going to see if maybe... well, the connections on the jack itself are good. I'm going to try to potentially see that board. It's just connected via just a flex connector, I think. Anyway, let's see about reattaching that DC jack. Where the hell did it go? There it was. I'm going to give that another roll here. I'm going to just plug that back in. Let's see, which way did I go in? This way. All right. Then we'll try plugging in some power and just see if the light lights up here. Okay. I probably should not do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm a Jordan and I'm dumb. But I'm going to try and plug in power to an exposed motherboard. Where is the power jack? There it is. This has the light built into it, so I don't know. Yeah, there's like nothing coming out of the jack. And I don't know if I have a spare DC jack from an old HP laptop of mine. I couldn't tell you that one. But it looks like it's a dead DC jack. Now, fortunately, there's a part number on this cable. So I'm going to go grab the iPad Mini 2. Let's look this up. Okay, so I got the iPad Mini 2 here. All right, let's go ahead and see about potentially finding on eBay the part number that we're going to need. So ebay.com. And let's see if we can find this part number. So this is HP. Where's that number? There it is, HP part number. So HP part number, or I shouldn't say part number. I'll just say HP. What is this? 68. Yeah, HP part number 68914 5 dash SD1. Now let's see what comes up here. So this is what I see so far. Very reasonable prices on these DC jacks. So I see $5, $8, $7.50, $7. About $7 for a replacement DC jack, I would say, for this machine, assuming that that's the problem. See, I don't know if that's actually the problem or not. So I know the power supply is good, because if I go to grab another HP laptop here, for example, I'm going to go grab my HP G60, wherever that is. Give me a second. So this is the HP G60 I'm talking about. This is also a parts laptop, and it's in its probably respective location. But it works. And thus, if I come out here and I plug that, plug this power supply into this machine, carefully of course, you can see it instantly lighted up white. So I know it's the power supply that's good, it's not the jack. So very likely what could be wrong with this machine is just a bad DC jack. And thus, if I were to buy a replacement DC jack and then put it all back together, assuming that that's what's wrong with it, that'll be a really cheap repair. But I don't know, I've been tempted to try and, hang on, let me swap the camera on here. I'm tempted to try and take the DC jack out of the G60 and see if it uses the same connector, because it's the same jack, it's just I don't know if the motherboard connector is the same, because this is on this newer machine, because it's a 90 watt, which makes sense because of that. This has one of those 8-pin connectors in it, as you can see there. It's an 8-pin connector, and I don't know if the one on the G60 is the same. It could be different because this is a lower wattage laptop. They're both AMD machines. This one's just a slightly lower end. Hang on a second. This one's a little older. It's a Turion 64X2, designed for Vista, but again, it uses the same jack as this. But I don't know if the connectors for the DC in on the motherboard are the same. So, beats me. I'm just tempted to just buy a DC jack on eBay and just have it shipped to me. I'm very tempted to do that. And then I got some extra DDR3 RAM lying around, so if I wanted to grab some extra RAM for testing, I can certainly do that. I think I got an extra 2 gig stick somewhere. I don't know. I'll just throw it in there just because of the fact that I can do that while I have the laptop motherboard out. But I don't know where it's at. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Actually, I got a matched 4 gig pair, so I'm going to just slap that in instead. I might as well just do that. It's a little slower RAM. It's not as fast as the other stuff. Probably DDR3 1333 or something like that, or 1066. I don't know. But it's a matched pair, so it'll at least give me dual channel, even if the RAM's a little slower. Alright, so I'm going to set you guys back down here on the stand. So, let's go ahead and take out this particular stick of RAM here, and then we'll go ahead and put in this matched pair of 4 gigs. And then, in it goes, and then on this side, grab that. Alright, now it's got a matched 4 gigabyte pair of RAM. So that's awesome. So, okay. So I'm thinking I'm not going to probably dig into this laptop right in this stream. I'm going to probably not do that just for the sake of time. I do think what I'm going to do right after the stream, I'm going to go ahead and potentially just order a new DC jack for this laptop, have it shipped in from eBay, and then next week we'll try to take this thing back apart, or maybe I'll leave it apart in the meantime. I'll just back up all the screws, but I'm going to probably put it back together so I don't lose them all. Loosely, of course, and then we'll maybe just try to replace the DC jack and see if this thing comes back to life. Because that's the cheapest thing that I can think of testing or replacing right now. Of course, I could try taking this thing apart, but I don't know if I want to do that today. Although, now that I think about it, there's not a whole lot of screws holding this laptop apart or together either. I don't think I put too many in this. It's mostly just being held on by like a couple of other screws in the RAM door and such. So that's probably a recipe for disaster. But let's see. I'm going to move you out of the way gently. So let's take it apart. You know what? Fuck it. We're doing that right now. We're live. Let's do this shit. We are taking this thing apart. It's not even got all the right screws in it to begin with anyway, so... I'm surprised this actually fits in all these screw holes. That's pretty impressive. I don't know about these. It should be able to, yeah. I don't know if those ones actually go in or out. I think it's out. I don't know. Have to find out. This living room is going to be an absolute disaster by the time I'm done with it. Oh well. Mom's not home. That's what matters, though. Let's get this antenna off. Let's get this wireless card out of here. Got one more screw on the keyboard side of things. I didn't even see that. Oh, no. I can't reach in there with the drill. I'm going to have to get in there with the screwdriver. It's not even that tightened down anyway. So, oh well. Let's get the optical drive screw out. That should just be able to come out. I don't know. No. You just not want to come out? You just not want to come out. Freaking HP screws. I'm gonna go ahead and dump these someplace else, so. Now I know they are at. Alright. Now the Wi-Fi card screws, let's get those out. I don't even remember where I got this Wi-Fi card from. Might have even been original to this machine. I don't really remember because it's been so long. But, anywho. Bunch of broken plastic everywhere because that's my favorite thing. Alright, now first things first, let's disconnect to the keyboard and get that out of the way. Whatever this is, I think that's the power button board. I got to disconnect that. And then I need to disconnect the board on the right hand side. And then, let's see. What about this? Get that off. That's a touchpad connector. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, this piece is separate from the rest. And then, I don't think there's any screws actually holding this thing together. I think we can literally just take this thing apart at will. Oh, except the LVDS. You gotta disconnect that. Gotta disconnect LVDS. Okay, now we can go ahead and take this apart. Alrighty. All these cords are going everywhere. Okay, go on. Unroute you. Let's unroute you, wherever the hell you go. Alright. Where the hell you go. That's got severed wires on it. That's nice. That's really nice. Again, this is a parts machine, so it is what it is. Okay. So here's the jack on this one. Way over here. And this speaker is in the way. But then again, so is the board with the USB ports on it. I actually put the screw back into this thing to hold it down. I think it's just held in there captively. If it wasn't held down by something else, yep, there's a screw holding it. What do you know? I guess it holds the USB ports in place as well as the speaker, which makes sense. Okay. This optical drive needs to come out of the way if that screw would not be stuck in its hole. Okay, there we go. So where does the DC jack on this machine go? Also, I don't know what the hell this is for. Can I get it out? Oh yeah, I can. Oh, that was the modem. Ah, I'm stupid. The jack's on this side, not the modem. Ah, no wonder there was a fuse on that. Because that's the modem connector, you idiot. Anyway. Let's see, this board doesn't do anything. I gotta disconnect the modem jack itself. And then there's one screw here. And that should allow me to take the motherboard the rest of the way off. And indeed it does, except I got to disconnect the DC jack, and it looks like in this case the DC jack is not the same. It looks as if this one, I don't know if we're going to be able to get it on camera here, but you can clearly see that the connector is not the same as the one that's needed on the Pavilion M6. I'm going to set that one. You can tell the connector is quite a bit different. So unfortunately, it looks as if I would need to order a DC jack for the Pavilion M6 off eBay. Not the end of the world. I can do that. I can get that done right after the stream. And then we'll order in a DC jack for the Pavilion M6 and maybe, hopefully, get it back to life. I hope. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and I should probably just junk this machine in general because it's just crap. So I'm not even going to probably bother putting this one back together just because it doesn't really... It overheats. Even with fresh thermal paste, it overheats. So something's definitely wrong. And honestly, it's just not worth fixing because the display's got LCD bleed. Again, it overheats. There's no battery. It's DDR2. The machine's from 2008. The Wi-Fi antennas are not that great. In fact, I don't think the two antennas it has even work. I think there's only one. This front panel board doesn't even work. The connector got severed by the last owner. So this machine's probably just going to get junked. And that's probably for good reason too, because it's not worth it. It's not really worth it to me. I'll save the optical drive though, because the optical drive's good. But otherwise, I'm going to probably just move this machine off to the side and probably just junk it, because it probably should go, honestly. Now it looks like we've got a severed head off of a screw. I don't know how that happened. But, okay, that's weird. I don't even think that was a screw. So anyway, at least we got one working machine out of the bunch. This one, it looks like it just needs a DC jack replacement, which is easy enough to do. And I'll probably repaste the CPU at some point. I'm not going to take off the heatsink just for the moment, just because I don't have any extra thermal paste to put on it. So I'm not going to take this off until I'm ready to repaste it, and then we'll figure out what CPU it has. I'll probably test the machine first, and then we'll figure that out beforehand, but... excuse me, anyway. So, what does this other chip that says AMD on it have on it? I can't really read it too well. because I think that's not the graphics chip, because this is an APU. This is an AMD A10 based APU. So I don't believe that was the graphics chip. That should be based on, it should be built into the CPU. But anywho, yeah. And I don't believe I have another HP laptop parts thing anywhere that has a DC jack. I don't believe so, because the only other machine that I have was an HP 2000 laptop. It was a 15-inch, one of those basic ones that has the AMD E-series APUs in them. Nothing fancy. But it had a toasted CPU, so it wasn't worth fixing, and it's one of those soldered-on CPUs, so you can't really fix it unless you resolder on a new CPU. So that laptop was junk, and I parted it out, but I don't remember if I kept the parts to it or not. I think I probably got rid of them. I think, because I didn't need them anymore. I think. So I believe I don't have any extra modern HPs that I can take the DC jack out of that don't work. Well, the laptops themselves don't work, but the DC jack does work. I don't remember. I think I got rid of that machine. I don't know. Can't really tell because this room is a mess of anything but organized stuff. But yeah, I don't think I kept the DC jack out of that machine, so I think we'll just have to order one off eBay. So fortunately, it looks like it's oh goodness, it froze. Well, isn't that just lovely? So I guess it's not an iOS 12 isolated bug where the stream camera freezes. I guess it just happens at random on the app in general. Still coming in. I know this camera seems to be broke. Okay, so can I switch cameras? No. Because otherwise it's just going to show nothing on my viewfinder and I can't see a damn thing. Well, isn't that just nice? And then if I close out of the stream right now, of course the stupid thing's going to crash and the whole stream's going to come to an ending, and I don't want it to come to an ending right yet. So the solution, I think, is to just let it sit, and eventually it will come back. I think. I don't know. Oh, there it goes. Yep, it's back. Okay, I can see something now. Friggin' YouTube streaming thing that just doesn't work properly. Because of course it doesn't stream properly. So yeah, it looks as if I'm just gonna have to, where's the iPad? Let me go ahead and unlock it here. So it just looks as if I'm gonna need to order a, yeah, the stream died for a sec. I know that because the whole viewfinder crashed. My viewfinder kept ticking up in time up in the upper left, but it was frozen. And it eventually came back. So yeah, anyway. So it looks as if I just need to order a DC jack for this machine. So I suppose I'll just find a HP NVM6 1000 series. That is correct. So let's see here. This comes out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so that's not too bad. It's got money back guarantee, free 30-day returns. That's pretty nice. Let's see here. If I go back, what other ones do we got? There's a new other, but it's more money. I bet you that's probably from China. Nope, Miami, Florida. I would have figured it would have come from China. I'm not going to buy that one in particular. I think I'm going to go ahead and just buy this one here. This DC power jack thing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Free shipping. And obviously it's not branded, but it's got the same HP compact part number on the cable. And it's got the same 8-pin connector that it needs, because it has to support 90 watts. So it looks as if I should just be able to purchase this and be good to go. So I will definitely do this after the stream is over. So not too bad. I gotta say though, I'm really happy with this little iPad. It works really well. Despite the cracked screen, it works really well. Oh no, do not. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. Storage and iCloud usage. Get it away. Get that out of there. iOS 11. Delete update. I don't want you updating right now. delete the software update because I don't have a whole lot of storage on this iPad to begin with. It looks like it synced all my stuff from iCloud in the background while it was plugged in, which I don't want it to do. So let's see, where's photos and camera? iCloud photo library, turn off, because I don't want that on, because it's just going to eat up all my storage like nobody's business, and I don't want it to do that. So I have to go through that later, apparently. Alright, did it clear out? I don't know. Alright, well, it looks like I'm going to have to go through the photos. Not the end of the world, though. But yeah, it looks like this little iPad mini 2 is working fantastic. So that makes me happy. I don't know what use I'm going to have for it. Again, other than like a little spare camera or something. I don't know. Find some use for it. Definitely going to look into getting this screen fixed. Because the LCD is good. The digitizer is good. It just needs new glass. So that should be a really inexpensive fix for this little iPad mini. And then this thing will be good to go. And then maybe get a battery replacement if it's worth it. Maybe. Depends on how much the batteries cost and how much this thing would be worth once it's fully restored. So these things went like crazy back when they were still new. It's kind of like it pulled an iPad 2. The iPad mini 2 held on for quite a while. And these things are just everywhere nowadays. But it makes me happy that both the cameras, they still work. So that's a good thing. You know, granted the cameras are crap, but whatever. Yeah, I'm going to wait for iOS 12 on this thing. I even thought about wanting to run the beta on this. I'm thinking about running the iOS 12 beta. I'm not sure yet. What I want to do before I do anything, though, if I can, I'd like to save SHSH blobs, if there's any available for this iPad. So that way, if I wanted to take it back to iOS 10.3.2, which is what this iPad is running. Let me get my passcode back in there. This is running 10.3.2. In the About section, you can see iOS 10.3.2. So I should be able to save SHSH blobs for this iOS version, and then if I want to go back to it, I can do that. So that's what I plan on looking into for this iPad before I update it at all. Whether it be to iOS 11, iOS 12, probably just straight to iOS 12 from iOS 10 if I had to guess. I'd do it through iTunes and just update it through a fresh restore instead of doing an upgrade that just make the performance a little better. And it'll be good to go. So for 50 bucks, hey, I can't complain. It's a working iPad mini 2. Other than the screen being absolutely smashed, it's in perfect working order. And that's not a whole lot of, there's not a lot of BS you can say about that. So even in its current state, I can certainly find some use for it. Even as a little jukebox, as a camera, as a live stream thing. Maybe not for live streams necessarily, because I don't think the A7 in that thing's going to have enough horsepower to really do that anymore. So I'll probably save the streaming stuff for my phone or the iPad Pro. But in the meantime, I can find some use for it. It certainly can have its use. My mom can technically use it for doing Facebook, which will work just fine for that. FaceTiming, although not really well because the front camera's kind of smashed, but it still works, so I guess you could technically use it for FaceTime. iMessage, sure. It'll work great for iMessage. And I don't know what else. Probably email, web browsing in general, just basic stuff. The iPad will be great for that. Oh yeah, for watching video, absolutely. Use it for streaming video to the TV, you bet. That'll work great for that. I mean, that thing can stream the, if anybody knows what I'm talking about with the SmartCast thing, of which you can take the video and then you can stream it wirelessly to a smart TV, like that smart TV in there. It's a Samsung 6 Series smart TV. I can do that with my phone and with my iPad, so I can probably do the same thing with the iPad mini, and it should be good to go. Should work quite well. So I hope that that's going to be the case. So now I got to get back to putting this poor thing back together, because, yeah. And then I think I'm going to find a hard drive to put in that Dell, and I think we're going to install Windows 7 on that in a separate stream or separate something or another. What about Chromecast? I don't have a Chromecast, I'm sorry. I just don't have a practical use for a Chromecast because I'm never home to use one in the general, and, well, honestly, you only really need one TV to cast things to, and the Samsung TV over there has that built in, so it's pretty pointless. So, anyways, This stream's gone on for about 100 minutes, or an hour and 40 minutes, so I think I'm going to go ahead and bring it to a close. So, at least I know I have one working laptop out of those two, and a functional iPad mini too, so that makes me happy. That makes me very happy. So I didn't go out and totally blow my money. And that HP with the AMD A10 in it should work just fine. As long as I get it, a DC jack ordered for it, which is about $7, probably give or take, somewhere in there. We'll get that ordered in, and we'll get that HP Pavilion M6 back up and running. And I hope it works, because that would be very nice to have an AMD A10 based laptop. That would be very nice. Granted, it's not going to be no AMD Ryzen. It's not even going to match the performance of my FX rig that I sold a little while ago. But it's still going to have some use. And I'll probably... I don't know what I'm going to do with that machine. It needs a new LCD if I'm going to do it any justice. I need to buy a new LCD panel, because the one that's in it, if I can go shine my light into it, maybe, you can very clearly tell it's bleeding right there. There's a little bit of LCD bleed there, and it's just there's various little bits and blobs of LCD liquid crystal in the polarizers, because of course this thing took a drop. It's not cracked, it got damaged somehow, and so now it's just leaking liquid crystal into the polarizers and all the film, or all the other films of the LCD. So I bet you it probably still works, but I'd only use that panel temporarily. I'd probably upgrade the LCD on that to a matte high-res display if they have one for that machine. I don't know that for sure. It might just be a glossy panel for all I know, but probably replace the LCD panel if it's worth it, if that machine actually works. I don't know. Because again, I only saw one on eBay of the exact same model number, and it was going for $250. So maybe it might just be worth it to buy a new LCD panel, buy a DC jack, and then buy 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM, and maybe a 1 terabyte hard drive. Maybe. I need to get the caddy for it too, but I suppose it's not that hard to find one. There's parts everywhere for those HP Pavilion M6 laptops on eBay. So I might just be able to, at the same time while buying the DC jack, buy a hard drive caddy and the screws that go with it at the same time, and then have those shipped in. And then if it's worth it, I can then put in a hard drive, put in RAM, replace the LCD, buy battery, buy a, what is it, an 85 watt or 90 watt adapter, and then should be good to go. And you can reinstall Windows 7 on that laptop, and it'll be good to go. Then it'll work. So it'll take a little bit of time, but I think we can make it work, assuming that the motherboard's good and the CPU's good after I buy a DC jack. Because again, a DC jack's $7. Even if the machine turns out to be a dud, it's not the end of the world. I only bought it for $10, so honestly, I can make back what I paid for it in parts, including the DC jack. So it's not totally hopeless. It's not a total lost cause. So I can still make some money off of this machine, because the CPU itself will make back the vast majority of the money that I spent in this machine. So, yeah. And for some older games, yeah, you bet it'll be fine for that. I don't even know what Radeon chipset this thing has in it for graphics. I would assume probably some kind of, let's see, it's 2012. So maybe a 7000 series, like a Radeon HD 7000 series, I would assume. That's my guess. It could have a 6000 series in it, some kind of 6000 series or 7000 series. That's about all I can think of for that machine. I don't know. I have to look up the specific model of CPU that machine has, and I don't want to go taking off the heatsink right now because I ain't got no extra thermal paste to repaste the CPU. So I don't want to try that right now. But it might just be worth it. Never know. So I'll probably go ahead and I'll gather up the screws for each thing, and I'm going to put this thing back together off the camera so that way I can get it back together and hopefully put it back in at least somewhat one piece. And then, yeah, and then we'll save it for another day. And then, yeah. So I think that's about it for now. I don't know what else I could really talk about here on the live stream. The YouTube counter, the view thingamabobber is broke. So it's saying 1 view. And I don't know if that's completely accurate, because we all know how the YouTube live stream view counter is completely inaccurate. So, whatever. But we're definitely going to find some purpose for that Dell. I'm definitely going to do a restoration of this machine, at least for what it has in it right now. It's only a Core 2 Duo, sure, so it's not entirely worth putting money into one of these things because you're not really going to get that much back out of it. But at the very least, I could buy it a battery and then maybe replace the keyboard and clean it up as best I can. And then maybe I could make about, let's see, I bought this one also for $10. So I suppose that I could probably, like I said, clean off all of the sticker residue, replace the keyboard, buy it a battery, buy it a genuine Dell adapter, probably a 65 watt because that's all this thing would really need, and then buy it a hard drive and a hard drive caddy and a hard drive cover, install Windows 7, and call it a day. I think that might be just what I do because otherwise I'm not going to be making back my money from this machine if I were to try to sell it. And honestly, I don't even think I might even go that far with it. I might at least buy it a battery and a genuine Dell adapter because those are cheap enough on eBay to find. I'll obviously buy a genuine Dell battery because I'm not going to deal with one of those cheap Chinese stupid things. So, yeah. So, I think I've gone on long enough. I'm going to go end the stream because I'm getting pretty tired and I'm going to try to figure out what else I'm going to do with my afternoon. So, I'll see you all later. I hope to have some good news on the Pavilion M6. I hope, because I'm going to buy that DC jack right after the stream and get that rolling. And then we'll get it fixed. I hope it works. Cross my fingers. I hope it works. So, yeah. Alright, well, I'm going to turn the stream off, so thanks for coming in, and I'll see you all later.